Greatest NCAA football teams who didn't win a championship. What's the greatest college football team to never win a national championship? 13 wins and 0 losses, beating 3 top 5 opponents, dominating by an average of 30 points per game. These weren't just good teams. These were historically dominant squads that deserved championships. Here's the truth. These 10 teams dominated college football, broke records, and looked unstoppable. But controversial polls, playoff losses, or bad timing cost them championships. This isn't just a ranking. This is the definitive list of the greatest teams that never won national titles. Number 10. The 1994 Penn State Nittany Lions went 12-0 with Joe Paterno leading a dominant squad. Penn State beat 5 ranked opponents, including victories over Michigan, Ohio State, and Oregon in the Rose Bowl. The Nittany Lions outscored opponents by an average of 26 points per game. Running back Kijana Carter rushed for 1,539 yards and 23 touchdowns. The offense was unstoppable behind Kerry Collins at quarterback. But Nebraska won the national championship despite losing to Miami earlier in the season. The AP and coaches polls both voted Nebraska number 1 over undefeated Penn State. Penn State finished 12-0 and ranked number 2. The Nittany Lions never got a chance to play Nebraska for the title. This was Penn State's second undefeated season without a title. They went 12-0 in 1969 and also finished number 2 behind Texas. Number 9, the 1958 Oklahoma Sooners went 10-1 under legendary coach Bud Wilkinson with one of the most dominant offenses ever. Oklahoma outscored 6 conference opponents by an average score of 34-3. The Sooners destroyed Syracuse 21-6 in the Orange Bowl to finish the season. Oklahoma's only loss came to Texas 15-14 in October. The Longhorns stopped 4 Sooner drives inside their 25-yard line in the upset. LSU won the national title with an undefeated season. The voters chose unbeaten LSU over one-loss Oklahoma despite the Sooners' dominance. Oklahoma had won the national championship in 1956. The 1958 team may have been even better, but it didn't get the recognition. At number 8, the 1966 Alabama Crimson Tide went 11-0 under Bear Bryant with one of the greatest defenses in history. Alabama allowed the fewest points in 4 years, shutting down opponents with a dominant defensive line. The Tide beat Tennessee, Auburn, and Nebraska in succession. Tackle Cecil Doughty and N. Ray Perkins were consensus All-Americans. Future Pro Football Hall of Famer Ken Stabler was the quarterback. But Notre Dame won the national title after tying Michigan State 10-10 in their season finale. Voters controversially chose the Irish over undefeated Alabama. Alabama fans have never gotten over this decision. Books have been written about why voters chose Notre Dame over an unbeaten Alabama team. On paper, the 1966 Alabama team was better than both their 1964 and 1965 championship squads. In at number 7 is the 1986 Miami Hurricanes, who went 11-1 with one of the most talented rosters in college football history. Miami beat top-ranked Oklahoma 28-16 with ease. The Hurricanes dominated Florida State, West Virginia, and multiple ranked opponents. But Penn State shocked Miami 14-10 in the Fiesta Bowl for the national championship. The Hurricanes outgained the Nittany Lions 445-162, but turned the ball over 7 times. Miami's 7 turnovers cost them the championship. One fewer turnover would have probably secured the victory and the title. This Miami team featured future NFL stars across the roster. They should have won the title, but instead became vanquished villains. The Hurricanes would win the championship the following year in 1987. At number 6 is the 2001 Oregon Ducks, who went 11-1 under coach Mike Bellotti with an explosive offense. Oregon's only loss came at home to unranked Stanford in October. The Ducks crushed Colorado 38-16 in the Fiesta Bowl to finish strong. Nebraska made the national championship game despite losing by 24 to Colorado in their final regular season game. The Cornhuskers got destroyed by Miami 37-14 in the title game. Oregon beat Colorado by 22 points in the Fiesta Bowl. The Ducks deserved a shot at Miami, but were left out of the BCS title game. This was one of the most controversial BCS selections ever. Oregon had a better resume than Nebraska, but didn't get the opportunity. At number 5, we again have the Oregon Ducks, who in 2010 went 12-1 under Chip Kelly with one of the fastest offenses in college football history. Oregon's offense averaged over 40 points per game with quarterback Darren Thomas and running back LaMichael James. The Ducks won the Pac-10 and reached the BCS National Championship game. Auburn defeated Oregon 22-19 in the title game on a last-second field goal. Heisman Trophy winner Cam Newton led the Tigers to victory. Oregon dominated its conference and played in the championship, but the last-second loss cost them the title they deserved. The Ducks' up-tempo offense revolutionized college football. Their impact on the sport was significant despite not winning the title. Number 4 is the 2018 Alabama Crimson Tide, who went 14-1 under Nick Saban with one of the most talented offenses ever assembled. Alabama's passing game featured Tua Tagovailoa, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, and Devonta Smith. The offense averaged over 45 points per game. Alabama destroyed LSU 29-0 on the road and shut out Mississippi State. The Tide won the SEC championship over Georgia 35-28. But Clemson destroyed Alabama 44-16 in the national championship game. The Tigers led just 14-13 after one quarter before outscoring Alabama 30-3 the rest of the way. Clemson's defense held Alabama to 16 points, well below its season average. The loss shocked the college football world. This Alabama team may have been Saban's most talented offensive squad, but they couldn't stop Trevor Lawrence and Clemson's offense. The 2011 LSU Tigers come in at number 3 when they went 13-1 with one of the greatest defenses in college football history. LSU beat 3 teams that finished in the top 5. The Tigers defeated Oregon, Alabama, and Arkansas in dominant fashion. The defense featured Morris Claiborne as a unanimous All-American and Tyrann Mathieu as a Heisman finalist. LSU led the nation in scoring defense. In the game of the century, LSU beat Alabama 9-6 in overtime in November. Both teams made the BCS title game for a rematch, but Alabama destroyed LSU 21-0 in the championship game. The Tigers gained just 92 total yards and couldn't score a single point. LSU had the best regular season resume in BCS history, but the rematch with Alabama ended in disaster. The decision to have a rematch was controversial. Many believed Oklahoma State deserved a shot after going 12-1. At number 2 is the 2000 Miami Hurricanes, who went 11-1 with one of the most talented rosters in college football history. Miami's offense featured Clinton Portis at running back and Santana Moss at receiver. The defense was loaded with future NFL stars. Miami's only loss came to Washington 34-29 in Seattle. The Hurricanes beat Florida State and beat Florida in the Sugar Bowl. But Oklahoma won the national championship with a 13-0 record. Many believed Miami was better than the Sooners, but didn't get a chance to prove it. Miami's roster featured over 30 future NFL players. The talent level was extraordinary for a college team. The Hurricanes would win the national championship the following year in 2001 with essentially the same roster. And finally, at number 1, we again see the Miami Hurricanes, who in 2002 were the most talented college football team ever assembled that didn't win a national championship. Miami entered the season as defending champions with a 34-game winning streak. The roster featured 17 future first-round NFL picks. The Hurricanes went 12-0 in the regular season and beat Florida State in their rivalry game. Miami was unstoppable on both sides of the ball. In the Fiesta Bowl for the national championship, Miami faced Ohio State. The Hurricanes led 17-7 in the third quarter and appeared headed for a repeat championship. But Ohio State rallied to force overtime. In the second overtime, a controversial pass interference call on 4th down gave the Buckeyes new life. Ohio State scored on the next play to win 31-24 in double overtime. The controversial call changed the game and cost Miami the championship. This Miami team featured future NFL Hall of Famers and All-Pros across the roster. Players like Ed Reed, Andre Johnson, Clinton Portis, Jeremy Shockey, Bryant McKinney, and Vince Wilfork. The 2002 Miami roster is considered the most talented college team ever. Over 40 players from that team made NFL rosters. This is the greatest team to never win a national championship. The talent level, dominance, and expectations made the Fiesta Bowl loss devastating. Miami's 34-game winning streak ended on a controversial call. The Hurricanes deserved better than losing on a questionable penalty. These 10 teams represent the greatest to never win championships. From Miami's loaded 2002 roster to LSU's dominant 2011 defense, these teams dominated college football. Miami stands at number 1 because of the talent. 17 first-round picks on one team is unprecedented. LSU's 2011 team had the best regular season resume ever, but they couldn't score in the rematch with Alabama. Every team on this list deserved better. Controversial polls, bad calls, or rematch losses cost them championships they earned. Thanks for watching this journey through great teams without titles. Hit subscribe for more college football content. And remember, winning a championship requires greatness and luck. These teams had greatness, but the luck ran out.